All right, second graders, we are on chapter 5, lesson number 6, which is counting by fives, tens, and hundreds. This lesson should be pretty simple because I think you should have learned this in kindergarten. And then last year, Mrs. Jensen probably practiced with this skill with you in first grade. So in second grade, this should be an easy skill. Okay? Now, our essential question for this lesson and for this chapter is how can I use place value? Okay? We're going to watch a video that goes with this that talks about this number pattern that we're going to be looking for. And we've been practicing number patterns with our number scrolls. So this should be pretty simple.
It is easy to us.
Number patterns. Sometimes firefighters need to use ladders. To get where they need to be, they go up the ladder step by step. We're going to use a ladder to help us count. We'll go up each step one at a time as we count. Number patterns can help you count. Let's look at an example. In this pattern, we count by ones. 545, 546, 547, 548. Each number is one more. We can also count by tens. 545, 555, 565, 575. Each number is 10 more. Let's look at another pattern. We'll count by hundreds. 545, 645, 745, 845. Each number is 100 more.
Would you give one to everybody except for Charlotte, please? And Mason. Okay, so we're going to practice this skill by looking at numbers and looking at their place value. Now, Lydia's coming around with your worksheet for today. When you get your worksheet, would you please put your name nicely at the top?
I already do.
Don't tell me, just show me. All right. And then, if you're waiting for Libby to bring you one, you should get out a yellow crayon and a red crayon. And I just double checked, yellow and red.
Skip by 10.
If you have them, they don't. No, yes, if you have them, that's fine. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did. Addie, after you Ingrid goes. Okay. Okay. Now, the first direction says, besides putting your name at the top, and I see some of you don't have your names on quite yet, so put your name at the top. And then, get your yellow crayon. That's the first crayon you need to use. All right. Now, with the yellow crayon, we're going to look at our chart. And I noticed that I'm on the 200s page. Oh, no. Because every number on this hundreds chart starts with a 2. So this is the 200s page. Yes, there's 300 at the bottom, but I don't get to 300 until the very last one. So this page has 200s on all of the numbers except for my 300. That is the very first digit in the hundreds place. Now, we're going to skip count by fives. So I know my 200 is not on this page, but if it were, I would color 200. And if I were to go by fives, what would be next? Hayden?
10.
Not 10.
5.
205. So with my yellow crayon, I'm going to color 205.
205. 205.
So I'm going by fives. So I'm skipping 200, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then coloring 5.
They're all the way down.
What would be the next one, Carson, after 205? 205.
250.
Well, yeah, but not next. That is one of them, but that's not the next one. What one's the next one? If I'm adding 5 more, 5 plus 5 is 10. So be 200.
And 10.
10. No, and. 210.
210.
210.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Okay, now Carson, what comes after 210? If we're counting by fives,
I know it's gonna be 250.
250.
Oh, I can't see.
I know, it's hard. All right, Ellie, what would go next?
220.
220.
This is easy. Yellow.
All right, do you guys see the pattern?
Yeah, it's just going
Yes.
down.
It's going to be going down because every number that ends in a 5
I just did that and I'm doing the 10s now. I was just there we go.
would be in our pattern of skip counting by fives. And then every number that ends with a 0 would also be in our pattern when we're
But
counting
it
by
also
fives.
be in the 10.
You're right, Kaden.
Now we use a red for. What you do without me? Carson. Oh my God. Let's do a 10 and a 5.
All right, so we just learned when we skip out count by fives. If we start with a 0, we're going by fives and ending on zeros or like the 10s. Now our next direction says we are going to skip count by 10s.
And
And not color, but circle. Because if we color, it's going to look icky. So we're going to circle them. Red. So, Kaden, did you accidentally color? Okay.
I didn't color it either.
What?
I thought it said
Oh, it says circle. So, Kaden, which one should we circle with our red crayon?
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90.
Yep. 210, 20.
It says skip. Yellow skip count
That's what
by
we're doing.
10.
We're skip counting. We're counting by 10s. Another name for that is, instead of counting by 10s, you could say skip counting by 10s.
Remember my way to do this? Or it looks like a huge Norman.
Okay, now my next question is, the last question on this page says, if the chart were to be continued and you counted by hundreds, what would be the next number you would say? So, if I'm at 300, what would be the next 100 I would say? Aria? No, I'm at 300. What would be the next 100?
301.
No, I want the next 100. You guys are
400.
400. What would come after 400?
500. 600. 700.
You got it. Okay. All right. You got my page down. Flip it over to the next page.
Okay, Miss Murphy. Oh my gosh, Miss Murphy's the boss.
Lewis and Keaton. I don't need that, please. I sure am, but you don't need to say that. Okay. All right, guided practice. This is what they showed us in the video. Number patterns can help you count. In these patterns, each number is more. So think about you're going up a ladder. Here is our helpful hint. Patterns can also be 5 less, 10 less, and 100 less. So think of going up a ladder. You get to the top of the ladder, then what do you have to do? Come back down. up, our number patterns, and it can also go down. So, count by fives. Each number is 5 more. Go ahead and trace that 5. Count by tens. Each number is 10 more. So look at this on your fives. It goes, the green number goes from 0 to 5 to 0 to 5. The ones number changes. However, in the tens number, going by 10 more, the tens number just goes up by 1 digit. So it goes from 45 to 55 to 65 to 75. So that tens number is changing. Now the hundreds, when you count by hundreds, each 100 number changes. So I go from 500 to 600 to 700 to 800. Oops, I bumped it.
Yeah, you
So-
bumped it.
I bumped it. So your hundreds number is changing. So you have to see the pattern and what is changing. All right, let's practice this down below. Look at number 1. The first thing is I want you to look at these numbers, and they have highlighted with yellow the number that is changing. So think, what digit is that? Which place value house is that? The ones, the tens, or the hundreds? Raise your hand if you think you know what this pattern is doing. I'll give you guys a minute to look. John, are you looking? What is this pattern going up by? 300, 340, 350, 360, blank, 380. Elliot, what do you think? 370 goes there. Good job. She figured that out. But now we need to figure out, is that going up by 5s,
No.
10s, or 100? Ellie, what do you think? Elliot? 10s. Good job, because this is in the tens place. And this number keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I'm just going to show you that I know that it's going up by tens because that tens number is changing. Number 2, 575, 580, blank, 590, blank. Who could find the pattern on this one? Kaden, what do you think?
It's going up by 5.
You're right. It is going up by 5s. And we know that because the ones digit is going up by 5s, right?
Yep.
All right, so Kaden, could you figure out if it's 580, what would come next?
500. It would be 90.
No, we're going by 5s.
Oh. 585.
85.
What? 95.
Then it's 590.
You're close.
Then what would be the next?
5.
Kaden?
595.
595.
It's very like the same.
Yeah, because they're ending at 5s or a 0. Yep.
And it's going up by 10 if you erase all the other numbers.
All right, let's look at that. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No. I already know it. What is it?
Okay, Miss Murphy's going to write this in really quickly. I accidentally bumped it. It's
Oh,
fine.
silly Miss Murphy.
It's all right. It happens. It's an accident.
I can show people.
All right, look at the next one, number 3. 941, 841, blank, 641, 541. Lewis, what is happening on this one? What is the pattern?
Pattern? I see.
Now sit down and tell me. What is the pattern? Is it getting bigger or smaller by 5, 10s, or 100s? It is getting smaller by how much? Okay, so Lewis, you think this is 741? 741? changing? $941. $841. $741. $641. $541. What digit's changing, Liz? I would not write 541 here. It is not going by fives. This would be the fives list. That is not the fives. Are you being kind to us? What digit is changing?
9, 8, 7.
Yeah, what digit? Is it the ones, the tens, or the hundreds? No, that is not the tens. I have the ones, the tens, the hundreds. So when Mrs. Murphy said that, Lewis, listen. 900, 800, 700, 600, 500. We're getting smaller by hundreds.
Wait, so we do like, shouldn't we like minus 100?
Yeah, Keaton says we're getting smaller. We should minus, but just leave it. The pattern is we're going backwards by 100.
I like it.
All right, number 4. Look at this pattern. 680, 675, blank, blank, 660. Raylan, what do you think?
680. Yeah, 680. What am I looking at?
That's okay.
5.
So we're at 680. We're going back to 675. So we know that we're going by what, guys? 5. Okay. Now, sometimes it is hard to go backwards by fives. Do you guys think it's easier to go count up by fives? Yeah. So if you know this is going down by fives, is it okay to start here and go up by fives?
670 and
No. Oh, wait. So Raylan thinks this is 670. You're right.
and then 665.
Yes. Now, I'm going to show you what Mrs. Murphy is just saying. If I can't go backwards, because sometimes my brain doesn't like to go backwards, my brain likes to go forwards, I could think 660, 665, 670, 675, 680.
685.
All right. Now, guess what, guys?
What?
They do want us to write something.
What?
And I'm glad they said this.
Ow.
Because Kaden noticed that this is getting less. So behind 100, would you write less?
Yes.
And on this one, are we
It
getting
also does.
are we getting more or less?
More.
Less. Less. So 5 less. So please write that because they want that more or less.
You should tell us. Miss Murphy. Don't stop.
What? There's like stuff here.
Miss Murphy.
I know, there's stuff right there too. I accidentally did that. What about that? If I erase that, you erase that. Okay, go.
Murphy.
What's their favorite?
Right there.
Because it's a sentence.
That's
The-
not there.
Listen.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
There's a bunch of periods.
It's supposed to be a sentence. The pattern is 100 less. It's supposed to be a sentence. That's why they have a period. Okay, don't go to that page yet. We're going to go to the back.
Go to the back.
All right, problem solving. Paula counts by hundreds. She starts with the number 123. Write the numbers Paula counts. So, I'm at 123. I know that my hundreds is changing, only my hundreds. So right away, Mrs. Murphy 23, 23, 23. That does not change. Only my hundreds changes. Now, we're going to put in the hundreds number next. Okay? We're starting with 100. 23. Who knows what comes after 100 if you're counting by hundreds? I know Kaden knows. Does anyone else besides Kaden? Libby? 100. What comes after 100?
200.
200. So we're going to put a 2 there. And Mrs. Murphy's going to make this 2 black so you can really see how it changes. 123. 223. Raylan will go next.
323.
323. What would go next, John?
423.
423. Carson, what would come next? 523. And Riley, what would come next? 623. Good job. So, we just figured out this number pattern by counting by hundreds. Addie, what do you need? You go to number 13 and do that with us, and I will catch you up in just a minute like I always do. Okay? All right, number 14. On the back,
Do we
Allie.
cross off the ring builder?
Yes, you may cross off the ring builders.
Okay. I knew it!
Okay, number 14. Allie counts by tens. Can we just finish this problem, Ms. Sheeper?
Absolutely.
Allie counts by tens. She starts with 325. Allie counts 325, 335, 345, 365.
385.
What numbers did Allie leave out?
375.
Raise your hand if you know. She's leaving out a couple numbers. Look at the tens digit. We go from a 2 to a 3 to a 4 to a 6 to an 8.
What's wrong?
Riley, what does she leave out? 300. Which one? I think you had it right.
I forgot.
You forgot? Libby.
370.
Yeah, she forgot 375. That should come before the 65 and 85. So I'm going to put that one here because that's the second one she left out. Who can find the first one she left out? I know Kaden again. Anyone else besides Kaden?
I'm so
Addie?
dying. 355.
Yeah, 355. Perfect. All right. Miss Schaefer's 4. Charlotte went to a doctor's appointment. Okay, so now 3.
Sounds good.
Carson, Riley, and Aria, you may go with Miss Schaefer. The rest of you, open up your page to the independent practice. Yep.
This one? Okay, done.
Yep. Independent practice page. All right, I'm going to do one of these with you. But the rest I want you to try on your own. So, you on every one are going to fill in the missing numbers and then write the counting pattern. And you are going to write more or less after the pattern. So Mrs. Murphy's going to write that on the Clever Touch so you can see it. Because I want you to write more or less.
Who did that timer?
Is that somebody's timer?
I think it's Kinsley.
Can somebody check Kinsley's? I have his.
Kinsley, this Kinsley.
Thanks. Thanks, Kaden.
Oh.
All right, now look at this pattern. I'm starting with 500. I'm going to 510. Blank. 530. Blank. What is my pattern, Tyson? What am I getting bigger by?
10.
Tens. Good job. I'm going from a 0, 10 to 1, 10. What would be next?
520.
Good job.
540.
530, then 540. You got it, Tyson. Now, this is the hard part. Where it says the pattern is, guys, you are going to either write it's a 5 pattern, it's a 10 pattern, or it's a 100 pattern. So, Tyson, what pattern is this?
10.
Tens. And are we getting more or less? Are we getting bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
Bigger. So if we're getting bigger, we're going to write more. So Mrs. Murphy's going to put over here by more. That means it's getting big. Less is getting small. Okay? So on every one, you're going to fill in the missing numbers, and then you tell me, is it 5, 10, or 100? What is the pattern? And then tell me more or less. Is it getting bigger or